Good morning, YouTube friends. We had snow last night, and so this morning we're going to take you on a little walk down the lane. I really like to do it after it has snowed enough that you can see the shapes of things out in the woods, but you can't see that the ground's all covered up. So welcome to the Neals Homestead, and let's go for a walk. First, I'll show you our greenhouses that have a good covering of snow over the top of them. Marigolds up there in front of each one got a little bit cold last night, and Jeremiah has a stack of wood on his porch, so he's ready to go. So this is the top of our lane up by where Jeremiah's house is and where old guy and I used to live, and we're going to walk down the lane. It's a quarter of a mile, so it's pretty long. And it's a little bit icy, so I hope neither one of us falls down. Looks like we have an escort too. Always we have an escort. When we get to this place right here, there's a driveway that goes up to our #1 greenhouse, and there's a hawk going over. And right over there are our wood piles that we're going to have for the winter for our house. And just a few more steps and we come to the path that goes down to our house. That's our house down there. That's our pond that we enjoy so much, and our wood stove is going, if you can see the smoke coming out of that. This is basically our yard right here. And the trees are pretty because it was a wet snow and it clung to the leaves. But I know that today is supposed to be sunny, and so I know it won't be long till it'll be gone. So that's why I wanted to come down here and give you guys a tour. It seemed like a good day for a driveway tour. Now we are to the first driveway that goes to our house. It's a circle drive up there. And there's our big tree that I just love, but it's got 3 swings in it. But that tree is in the process of dying, like all good things in life seem to do eventually. And then right here is the second entry or exit, whichever way you want to talk about it, into our circle drive. Goes down through there, comes back out behind me.
We planted 2 redbud trees last spring, one here and one down there. This is a wild redbud, and that's some kind of a hybrid one, but I don't know what its variety is.
I think the leaves on it, they look green right now, but I think the leaves were red or something, weren't they?
They're reddish, yeah.
So it's a different kind. At this point, we enter into a wooded, like Lover's Lane type driveway, where there are woods on both sides of the lane, all the way down through here. We have more locust trees than we care to realize, and we try to thin them out as much as we can. Mostly we have oaks on our property, but we do have some hickory and apparently some ash. And what else do we have? We have a few elms, but we don't really care about the elms. We have, well, right there, I'll zoom in. Because locust trees are not a good thing to have. For one thing, they make flat tires. Yes, and they like to spread. Out into the woods, it starts getting pretty this time of year whenever there's not quite so much foliage.
Since it's 25 degrees this morning, there'll be a lot less foliage in another week.
In my opinion, we haven't, for the most part, had a pretty autumn. We did see some nice looking maple trees, especially when I went taking pictures in Windsor, Missouri, where I grew up at the cemetery. But the oaks have not done what they often do. I don't understand, because we've had a lot of rain, which you might think helps the leaves to be nice in the fall, but this year it didn't really happen. So now we have Molly. Molly joined us. She must have heard me talking, I suppose. Down off over the edge over there is a ditch. And actually, as much as I was hoping that we might be able to see the shape of things, we can't, because there's still too much foliage. But over the edge is a ditch, and then directly right beyond it is a ridge. We have a lot of ridges and ditches on our property.
And you see the tracks down the lane where our daughter-in-law a few hours ago went to teach school at a Christian school, and so she was early bird today.
We've reached the point where the driveway turns to the left, and then we start going down a hill. This hill's always the booger whenever it snows very much. Coming up it is okay for the first time, but typically the next time, where the snow's been packed a little bit, it gets slick, and so you have to learn the tricks and techniques of how to do it right. Off over the edge down there is where we sowed the grass seed, where I drove the lawnmower and old guy sat in the back of the trailer and broadcast it with his little seed spreader. Down the hill we come to another curve that goes to the right. And this is the field. We've grown crops down here, everything from onions to winter squash to turnips, daikon radishes. Yeah. One time, a long time ago, we planted this whole field full of sweet corn, and I think we got about a dozen ears out of it. The deer ate it all, I guess. The deer, or else people driving by, I don't know, stole it. But anyway, we didn't have any corn out of the deal, and that was a big disappointment, because We were hoping for corn, but we have since learned that we're not big enough to fight off the deer. So what you're looking at across there is our road that we live on. We actually own part of the land, a little bit, a strip across the road. It's part of our land because the road that goes in front of our house is not straight. It jogs around and cuts into our land a little bit. But over there on the bank, you can see a little shapes of things because of the snow. The snow falls on one side of an object, but not on the other side, and so you can see the depth and the shape of things a little better. Can't really see, but part of that area across there is a creek down at the bottom of that hill. Right out there is where I went looking for some elderberries. I know there's a good bush out there, but I chose the one right up here by the bridge because along the side of our property there's the creek that runs there and then curves and runs along the side of this hill. And there's old guy and our mailboxes. It's like yesterday was newspaper day. This is what it looks going back up the driveway.
And this is Thursday, and I think it's the first day this week we picked up our mail. So that way we get a lot of advertisements once a week.
Okay, well, thanks for going with us. I hope that you enjoyed the little hike down the lane. I sure do appreciate our lane. You know, there are downfalls about it, like taking care of it and dealing with it in the winter, but for the most part, it's a glorious thing to have. We'll see you next time.